Hello everyone and welcome to your 5-minute tutorial with Control and Move Fitness CIC. I'm Coach Catherine and I am here to take you through the kick up into a handstand. Now we are not focusing on the end shape, we are focusing on the transition from the floor up to that shape. So we are going to start with a couple of things. 3 key things we're going to really focus on is the hands, the shoulders and the kick itself from standing. So the first thing I want us to do is we are going to find ourselves in a quadruped position. So that is knees hip distance apart and your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Now obviously this is the placement for our handstand. Some of us might not be able to get there just yet, so if we need to, we can always bring our knees in a little bit closer to make things a little bit kinder. So again, we're going to start in that box position, nice and wide, abdominals connected in, so not dropping down, so keep the belly button nice and tight. We're going to lift the hands up and down. So you'll notice I'm lifting the heels of the hands, but I'm keeping the fingers down, and what we're going to do here is really just do quite a few repetitions here, and that's to get the blood pumping through the forearms, but also to get the wrists nice and ready. Again, if being in this position is too challenging, remember you can always sit on back. The less load on the hands, so the less stacked they are, the easier this one is. So you're going to want to do between 10 to 20 of these. We can then do little circles, or we call them clock faces. So we go around and back. Now it's worth mentioning if you've got hypermobility, we don't really want to lock out the arms here, so just keep them soft with a soft bend. Maybe do 4 or 5 in one direction and then 4 or 5 in the other direction. Lovely, fabulous. If you feel like you are really struggling to get into this position, the final one that we're going to do is we can do this one at a time. So drop in and all the way back up. So again, knuckles to floor, fist clenched, rolling one side, and then of course do the other. If you feel quite comfortable here, you can do both at the same time. And again, it's really just about stretching through, but again, depends on what level of mobility you are at. So hand placement. The first thing that we're really going to look at is where the hands are. Now we're going to do 2 different versions of this. We're going to do a downward dog position where you'll notice the shoulders are not in line with the wrists, and then we're going to do that handstand position. So going from the downward dog, we are then going to push forward and then back down. So again, forward and then back down. And you're going to do that 10 times. Notice how far away the feet are. Forward and back, forward and back. We are then going to try that, if we can, keeping the hands where they are. So again, still keeping that in mind. Now you can either be here, or if we can, let's try and push for here. Hands are in line with the shoulders. Walk the feet in, walk the feet out. So we're moving the feet, but we're not moving the arms. Yeah, so we're no longer moving those arms. So either we stay in that downward dog if we're fairly new to this, and then back, or we stack, come forward, we stay stacked, and that is going to give us the feeling of the push. Okay. That's the first thing we're going to try. You're going to feel your arms are engaging, your hands are engaging. We can shake them off, take a nice little break. We are then going to have a look at doing that stacking with a leg. And this is going to work on the balance aspect of the kick up into a handstand. So say we've got that balance. You're going to walk forward as far forward as you can. We're going to take one leg up. Does not matter if it's bent or straight. And then we're going to hop. Yeah, so hop. And the idea is that we're not moving. So we're not going here, we are just keeping everything in line, and we're thinking push, hop, yeah. Now again, we're really working those arms. When we start to do that exercise, notice a few things about my fingers. So when I start to tip forward, my fingers automatically switch on. And what I mean by switching on is that they grip. Now, before you do that, stand up with me. Bring your feet hip distance apart, and I want you to pitch forward as if you're falling. Now, don't let yourself fall over. You'll notice these engage and your toes scrunch naturally. That's what your hands want to do in a handstand. So if you overbalance, squeeze the hands, push your way back into the heels of the hands. So we're going to try that again, and I want you to think about the hands. So we've got our downward dog, restack the shoulders, walk the feet in, and then pick a leg. All right, we're gonna come down, push, and every single time you push, squeeze the floor, push, yeah? And again, remember, it doesn't even have to be a lift, it can be a little releve. But what we're avoiding is moving the arms like this, yeah? So we're gonna do 10 of those, trying to keep your hands as stacked as possible, yeah? Again, 10 might be the maximum. You might just start with 3, and then go to 4, then go to 5. Build it nice and easily, make it work for you. The final one is doing the kick up itself. So we always kick up from a lunge when we're learning. When you're doing it in a dance, you're not going to do a pirouette, find your lunge and then go. But we're going to do it from here. The reason why we do it from a lunge, is it means that we're closer to the floor, and it means we have all of that control over that front leg. So we come all the way down, you place your hands down, we place our hands very similar to the shape of a really big ice cream cone. Okay, it's got to be in a triangle. Put our hands down, we're looking, imaginary line in between the fingers. Don't have them too far away, because we already know that means we've got to do so much more work to get that in line, okay? So we come into a lunge, arms are going to come up and overhead, hands come down as the head comes down, kick and push, yeah? Now, I didn't have to focus too much on what my leg is doing because the end goal is not the shape, it's getting that nice smooth transition. So we come up, take a deep breath in, as we breathe out, hands and head down, kick and push, yeah? And that is your kick up to handstand. Let me know how you get on. Let me know how it's feeling for you. And if there's any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.